Namaskar. Welcome to the reading of Agastya, Purpose of Life, drawn from the discourses of Agastya Badipadu. Today's topic is human beings and the three bodies. Sister Sumati, will you please start reading?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sister. Human beings and the three bodies. Sage Agastya says, we already know that the human being is made up of the gross physical body, mind, and the soul. The physical body is a bundle of organic and inorganic compounds. In ancient scriptures, these were called the five elements or the Panchabhutas. Where did these come from? The human couple contribute to the material body. The body then grows using food, air, and other material substances. For a body to function, it needs energy. Where does this energy come from? Energy to live comes from air, food, and cosmic energy. Interaction of this energy with the materials of the body results in the first auric body or the etheric body.
So we'll stop here.
Yeah, sure.
And we will talk about what Appa Agastya has said so far. So he's saying the human beings are made up of three bodies. So at this point, we are all aware of a physical body. There is no doubt about it. We can see, we can touch, we can, interact through a physical body. So he says these are made up of five elements. So what are these five elements? Space, air, space, water, earth, fire, and ether. So all these are form the physical body. And then he says the gross and the etheric bodies are intimately connected. So now what he's talking about is the physical body and the etheric body, which is also a kind of a sheath for the physical body, he says, are connected. And then he talks about the energy that is in each cell of a body. So if you start thinking about all this in terms of energy, we understand that the gross body vibrates at a very dense manner, so we can actually see it, and the other bodies are all very subtle energy. So, but there is something else we have to understand before we go further. We have the three bodies, as Appa says, which is the physical body, the astral body, and the causal body. But there are five koshas, or the sheaths, that each of these bodies have. And what are these koshas? In the Taittiriya Upanishad, they talk about the Pranamaya, Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, then Vijnanamaya kosha, Anandamaya kosha. So these are the five sheets for these three bodies. So we have three bodies. We have the physical, astral, and causal body. And then we have the five sheets that cover this body. What these represent, we're going to understand as we continue to read. Go ahead, Sister Sumati.
Yeah. Can you hear?
Yes.
Energy to live comes from air, food, and cosmic energy. Interaction of this energy with the materials of the body results in the first auric body or the etheric body, that is Pranamaya Kosha. This clothes the physical body just like a dress worn by a person. Hence, the gross and the etheric bodies are intimately connected. Every cell in your body is surrounded by energy. The sum total of the energy of the cells in the body projected as etheric energy tells you how the organs are working. In healing, you can go to the cell level and instruct each cell to behave, adjust, and to balance itself with other cells. A good healer has the ability to talk to the cells and tissues. That is one aspect of the etheric body.
So here, one of the important things he's saying is energy to live comes from the air, food, and cosmic energy. So we know that we eat food for energy, especially in the Western countries, they talk about protein. We have to have protein every day to make a energy, a body work and function. And we need that. We need the vitamins and all that. But we also know, because of the wealth of knowledge we have in the Indian system, that we get energy from the air. We need air to live. We can't, and that everybody knows. That is all very common energy. But he's also talking about cosmic energy. So if any of you have read Autobiography of a Yogi, in that Yogananda says there was one saint who could live without eating or drinking. But we also know that in our Puranas and through our heritage, that there are many people who have mastered the level where they can just live on cosmic energy. So that also is possible. In fact, if we hear Dr. B.M. Hegde, and he's a very good, great physician who's celebrated in India, he says adults don't even need to eat 3 meals a day. They don't need to. They just need enough food to sustain themselves, because the body can actually, absorb the cosmic body and cosmic energy. And as we start doing our spiritual practices, we start feeling the energy coming into our bodies. So you start feeling the tingling sensation, like you can actually feel the energy. And I have always felt it come through my palms and then go through the whole body. And that is also one more reason why we have, all the gods showing this in the pictures, if you think about it, because energy flows from here. So when you touch somebody, energy, flow is there. There's always interaction of energy between two humans, between humans, whether we know it or not. So it is because of the astral body, which surrounds the physical body, which is similar to our physical body, but it is a more subtle energy. We can actually feel what another person is feeling. So if you, even before we see somebody and see the expression and hear what they say, we get the feeling inside, oh, that person is in a bad mood today or angry. That is because of the interaction of the energies between the bodies. So at this point in our life, most of us are aware only of the physical body and what we see out with the 5 senses. As we meditate, we begin to become aware of a astral body and the energies around us and the constant interplay of energy in the cosmos. So when he says, the cosmic energy is also important, it is, without that, there is no life. It is the cosmic energy that sustains the entire creation. And another thing that is very important is the exposure to the sun. In our self-realization fellowship, they always tell us you have to, do your energization exercises 15 minutes outside, always outside. And I was wondering, why do they say that? And now I understand it is important to expose ourselves to the sun. In India, we have Surya Namaskara. The reason behind everything that they have been teaching us in our tradition. So we begin to understand as we start meditating that other than this physical body, there are other sheaths that we have, and also the astral body and the causal body. We'll continue. Go ahead, Sister Smith.
Yeah, so the second main body is the astral body. Its existence can be felt even by an ordinary person. It connects the outer world with the brain. The brain belongs to the gross body. It is formed of matter. The brain can be seen, touched, and felt. However, you cannot touch or feel the mind. It is abstract. It is part of the astral body. There is no limitation in space for the astral body.
So here, a long time ago, I think when I was a small child, and I always used to wonder, where is the mind? Is it in the brain? And now I realize, no. The brain is just a physical matter. The mind is beyond the brain. It is part of the astral body. It has nothing to do with the mind. And that is why when they say, if you control the mind, you can control what happens in the body. And so great people like Ramana Maharshi could undergo a surgery without anesthesia because of the power over the mind. And they also, the other thing is consciousness. So we have brain, mind, and consciousness. Consciousness is different from the mind. It is higher than the mind. So we have to understand these three layers. We have a physical brain, we have the mind, which is of the astral body, and then we have consciousness, which is of the causal body. Because consciousness is the highest level. In consciousness, you go beyond mind, you go beyond the physical body, you go and connect directly to what is in creation, the cosmic consciousness. And that is what we strive to do when we do our meditation. Now, another thing he of course says here is in healing, you can go to the cell level and instruct each cell to behave, adjust, and to balance itself with other cells. A good healer has the ability to talk to the cells and tissues. So we are so dependent right now on Western medicine, allopathy or homeopathy, sometimes Ayurvedic, but it's all physical materials that we drink or eat, right? But there was something called the pranic healing, which existed in India, which was revived by a Filipino master called Cho Koksiu. And he revived pranic healing and he brought it to the world again, where you do not need to take medication to be healed. The other thing is the Reiki. Reiki also works like that. I think in Reiki, as far as I understand, you can touch the person. In pranic healing, you don't even touch the person. You just send the healing. But in Reiki also, distance healing can be done. So why is it when we see, in faith healing, they call, right? You go to a big event where somebody says, I'm going to heal all of you, and a few people get healed. Not everybody does. Why is it? It's because of the receptivities and faith of the person. The mind of the person is already telling. So the healing is happening because the person who's speaking and sending the energy is willing it, and the person who's receiving it has full faith and is accepting the energy and is able to heal themselves. So both are needed. One person has to send the energy, and the person has to receive. And as we go further, it is possible, they say, to actually tell our own bodies to behave. I have not reached that level. I still have to depend on the allopathic medication. But when I had kidney stones just 2 weeks ago, I had a person from India, a great soul, Rama Yogi, and he did Reiki healing every single day. After the first initial pain, I never even felt the stone passing. That is the power of cosmic energy. And that is what Reiki and prana healing and these kind of alternate medicines use. They actually heal directly from take the cosmic energy to heal another person. Gajraj Swamigal was very good at pranic healing. In fact, he was healing me one day, and the first thing I saw was the purple star right here. It was so clear because he was healing with the divine energy. And so many people, used to come to him, and even people from US at that time used to call him for healing. But he did stop all that because then he had to go into, Valipadu work completely. But we must remember that we do depend on food and all that, but our mind is more powerful than the physical things that we need. And more powerful than that is the consciousness. And what is the key that unlocks all this power is meditation. Go ahead, sister.
Some of you may experience what we call out-of-body experience, such as visiting some other country or talking to an unknown person. Sometimes people feel their body jerking during sleep. These are the indications of the existence of the astral body. If one tries and trains the gross body to separate from the etheric body, his astral body can travel anywhere. The astral body also has a mental body of its own.
So here again, very important. He's now talking about out of body experience, and many of us have felt the jerk. So what happens? It's because of the the astral body getting back into the physical body. We feel that jerk. So unconsciously, all of us have some astral travel going on. So that is why when you come back and some people who are spiritually advanced can recall where they've been. My mother, Arultai Vijayalakshmi, actually, she was meditating when she was taken on astral travel to Shahjahanpur. She's not heard of the name Shahjahanpur. She's, she never read that kind of books. And by her Guru Babuji, as a little girl, shown around the house she lived in a previous life. And I have also felt astral travel many times. I have spoken to dead people. I don't do that anymore, or I'm not aware of that anymore. But all this happened when Agastya Valipadu was going on, when I was so close to the divine energy. All these things I was able to actually experience. Where I have spoken to people who are dead, as people who spoke, and many times these things that happen is actually we think of it as a dream, but is it really a dream? When we start understanding, then we understand there are interactions going on, not just in the physical body, not just through the phone, not just through writing emails and letters, but also through our astral body. We can actually connect to another person through that. Whether we know it or not, when we have angry thoughts, those angry thoughts are carried and hovers around another person until they open up their mind a little with negativity, and then it goes there and it affects them. That is why it is so important to always send loving thoughts to everybody. And if you feel angry about somebody, take all that anger, put it mentally in a little blanket, tie it up and put it under Appa's feet. Because we shouldn't be sending out angry vibes. Why do people say, I'll pray for you? And, why is prayer so important? Because energy is flowing, intention is creating positive energy for that person who everybody is praying for. So that power each one of us have. Each one of us have the power to help another soul. So all of us need to continue to, give that loving, healing energy to people consciously. Go ahead, Sister.
The third is the causal body. This is the one that is in close contact with the soul. All good karmas are accumulated in the causal body and transmitted in the next generation. If you develop the faculty of evoking the causal body, you can get connected to higher mental faculties. A rishi, for example, is one who can easily connect to the knowledge coming from the Supreme Being. All Vedas are visualized in this manner. That is why they are regarded as the word of God.
Now, here, what is Appa saying? Appa is saying the third body is the causal body, which is the essence of the soul. It is the soul, the microcosm of the macrocosm. So he says all the good karmas is accumulated here and transmitted in the next incarnation. Now, what is it that we call the prarabdha karma? That is what it is. Everything we do gets stored in a astral and physical bodies and comes with us in the next birth or reincarnation, and we start feeling the results of those karmas, whether it's good or bad. Now he also says if you develop the faculty of evoking the causal body, you can get connected to higher mental faculties. That is what Gajraj Swamigal was able to do in this life that he had. He was able to connect to the higher mental faculties. He was able to connect to the higher consciousness of Appa Agastya and bring down that message. And Appa says that is how Vedas came to be, and that is why they call it the voice of the gods, because Vedas are considered, Daiva Vakyas, that it is directly received from cosmic consciousness and given to all of us. So at this point, we understand that we are not just the body, we have an astral body and we have a causal body. And then we have the Annamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, and all the other 5 sheaths, which are the physical body, the energy body, the mental body, the intellectual body, spiritual body. And look at it, the spiritual body, the emotional body, and the subtle body. The subtle body is the one that is the ultimate, the final one. Now we now know that we have all these three bodies, the 5 koshas, and they're all different levels of energy interacting with each other. And each one is very, very important. But we also at this time, we have to understand what is it that we are also made of. We are made up of chakras. So we have the 7 chakras, as Brother Kiran talked to us about, starting with the Muladhara, which is at the base, the Swadhisthana, which is the sacral, connected with the sexual organs, Manipura, which is the navel chakra, Anahata, which is the heart, Vishuddha, which is the throat, and then Ajna, which is the third eye, and the crown, which is Sahasrara. So as we do our meditation, what happens? We know that we have the power, Kundalini power at the base of the spine, which is the Muladhara chakra. So chakras, if you're imagining, they are like, people who have seen, who are clairvoyants have seen that they're like funnels. So they attract, they get the constant energy flow in and out, and proper functioning of the chakra creates balance in the human body. So when we are meditating, the Kundalini energy starts flowing from the Muladhara to the Sahasrara through the spine. Now, the spine itself, we know, is physical, but what is it that is in the astral level in the human body? It is the Sushumna. The Sushumna is the main conduit between the Kundalini, Muladhara and the Sahasrara for the Kundalini to flow. And then we have the Ida and Pingala, which are the 2 other main conduits. Ida is feminine, Pingala is masculine. Now, we see Brahmins do this. They, and what Brother Kiran also talked about how to close one nostril and breathe to the other. Why? Many people do this without knowing why it is being done. When we close this nostril, which is the feminine, we are activating the masculine energy. When we close the masculine energy, which is Pingala, then you're activating the feminine energy and helping the circulation of energy. So ultimately, when you're meditating, remember that is what is happening. Energy is flowing from the base of the chakra to the Sahasrara, and the conduit is the correct breathing is helping these energies flow in the body. There are nadis. I don't know the exact number of nadis, but we have thousands of nadis in the body, which are energy channels. And any blockage in this nadi causes pain. And blockages need to be removed. And how can this be removed? One of the main things is you actually have to exercise. Exercise is very, very important because it allows free circulation of energy inside the body. You cannot sit in meditation if you're just sitting, without doing all this exercise and stuff, because exercise helps open up the channels. Breathing helps open up the channels. So everything has a reason why we do that during meditation. Why we breathe, why we hold a nostril, why we allow air to pass from one to the other, and how, as Brother Kiran talked about, how concentrating on each chakra opens up a certain level of consciousness. So ultimately, we reach the final level of consciousness through Sahasrara. So at this point, if you have any thoughts or discussions, we can do that. If you have any questions, we can try to figure it out between all of us. Was this understandable that, what Appa has told us today, which is basically we have 3 bodies, 5 sheaths, then we have 7 chakras, the three main conduits, Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. And all this need to work in harmony for us to progress in spiritual life. And what is the base for all this? Knowledge. Without knowledge, there is no point in sitting there. If the Guru says you sit down here, you sit like this, you close your eyes, and you have to breathe like this. Why? We need to know the why. And why even meditation? All that is contained in Agastya Balipada. That's why Appa says, before you sit for meditation, before you teach somebody meditation, teach them the why of creation, why of karma, what we need to do, how to live, and how to move our bodies, let energy flow, understand how all these things are happening, so that we can progress in a spiritual life. If you have no more questions, I'm going to stop recording and we can continue with the next chapter next week.